Hello everyone, Ilda here from I Love Doing All Things Crafty, and welcome back to another video. Recently some friends of ours had a baby, and I thought this crib box card would be the perfect card to welcome her. As you can see, this card is going to be a little different from previous videos that I've made, as this card comes from SVG files from the Tiny Miracle SVG kit from SVG Cuts, which just means that you need an electronic die cutting machine to cut out SVG files. I, for example, use the Silhouette Cameo, but you can use the Cricut, the Eclipse, and I think even the Scan and Cut can cut SVG files. So as you can see, I've already gone ahead and cut out all my pieces for this baby crib box card, and all I'm doing now is just inking up the edges of the pink pattern paper that I have here, just to give it a little more contrast and dimension. The best thing about SVG Cuts is that all their files come with downloadable instructional PDFs, but even better is that Mary, the creator and designer of all the files, does assembly tutorial videos for all of her kits that she puts out, and I actually had to watch the making of this box card just to help me put this one together. I apologize that I'm a little bit off screen here, but all I'm doing now is just finishing inking and just gluing these pink pattern papers to the panel. So back in 2010 was when I started this papercraft journey, and I have to give SVG Cuts a lot of credit for it, because if you look at their files, they make you wonder, how can this possibly be made out of paper? So I started buying all their kits, entering all their challenges, and eventually was asked to be on their design team, which was a dream come true, and I loved and enjoyed every minute of it. And now I must admit that I've fallen in love with stamping and the art of creating a card from scratch and inking your own background, using metal dies versus an electronic die. Sometimes I just feel like I've gone about this paper crafting journey backwards. Feel like now I'm going back to the roots of card making versus the future of card making, which I believe is electronic cutting machines. But anyways, I am enjoying the whole process and feel like it's just made me a well-rounded crafter. Alright, so let's get back to the card. So I've gone ahead and glued all my panels to the card bases here, and now I'm just going to pop up the little booties with some foam and just creating a little bow here to add as a little bit of decoration. The fun thing about creating with these SVG files is that every designer will make something unique with it, just to decorate it a little different, and you've got a total different look. For example, there's these star spaces. You don't have to decorate that, but I like to put a little bit of embellishment just to make it look different. And I wanted to make it look like there's stars hanging off the crib's headboard. And even in just using different papers will make it look totally unique and different. So now I'm going back to the roots of card making. I've got a stamp from Simon Says Stamp that says welcome, and I've got the die that coordinates that will go underneath. Traditionally, you would probably leave this spot blank so you can write your message, but I'm just going to write my message on a piece of paper and just shove it in between the crib spaces, and that's what the recipient will get. Will be more like a little letter or a note in between, rather than a little message on that little piece of paper. So here I'm just stacking 3 of the baby die cuts together, and I'll just be adding that just below the welcome sentiment on the back of my card. But before I glue that back panel down, I want to attach the strings that are hanging off the front and just pull them back towards the back, and then I'm going to cover that up with the back panel, and I'm just going to use my pen blade to cut off all the little strings. So if you're interested in this design, I'll have a link below in the video description directly to the SVG Cuts store, where you can find this SVG kit and file. And if you're just getting started with SVG files, you will also find in their store a freebie section. They have tons of free files for you to get started on your SVG journey. So now I have the box frame assembled, and now all that's left to do is put the inserts in. So this one I'm gluing towards the back, bending the arms backwards, and as you can see I'm folding the card back and forth to make sure that it folds flat nicely, and this time I'm folding the arms to the front and doing the same thing and bending them forward and backwards. Now this design actually came with the baby block panel for the front of the crib, but I chose to add the baby's name instead. So to do that, all I'm doing is using these letter dies from My Favorite Things, and I'm going to be doing some partial die cutting. So I'm going to cut from the top down and not cut all the way through, so that I can then just attach the name to the front panel of the crib. This step is obviously not necessary to do. I just wanted to personalize this card. I mean, you could totally have done this on the silhouette and cut out the letters with a machine, but I just chose to do it because I did have these dies and I thought it'd be cute to use them. So as you saw there, I just used a T-ruler to trim off the bottom of the letters. Now I'm just going to trim off the excess paper at the bottom so that it won't be seen from the front of the crib. And that's pretty much it for the construction of this baby crib box card. And as you can see, you can be pretty creative with these designs and add your own embellishments. Here I'm just going to add some white to the eyes, and I'm just going to finish off with some Wink Stella to the baby bottle and to the safety pin. That's pretty much it for the whole card. So if you're interested in this project today, I will have more details over on my blog, so make sure you check out the link below in the video description. And as you can see here, I'm just stuffing it in an envelope so you can see how flat it does fold. And here's a close-up of today's card. I hope you were inspired by this baby crib box card today, and whether or not you're a traditional card maker or use an electronic die cutting machine to die cut your cards, the end result is what matters, and that you had fun creating it. Thank you all for stopping by and watching, and until next time everyone, happy crafting! Bye!